sizable cruise ship coming in here. Epic, it says on it. I don't know what cruise line it is, but it's big. And there's a reason why you don't want to park your boat in the turning basin here. You can see their bow thrusters working to square it up. We'll probably get a little bit of that. It's interesting to feel how powerful it is, even from 100 yards away or so. It churns up the water and kind of pushes the boat to one side. They've got local pilots that bring these boats in. I think they're required to have a pilot on board. This is all churned up sand in the harbor, because the bow thrusters and stern thrusters of the cruise ship, and they're not. It doesn't appear that they're operational, but I think that they are. That they're pushing against the ship against the quay. There's a lot of little currents going on. Yeah, so one of the things that happened the other day, we've been getting these gusty winds coming down through the anchorage here in Charlotte, Amalie, which is a great anchorage. It's a wonderful place. But our new tent poles that hold our sunshade open, the gusts were so great that it was just pulling them out of the little kringles, or whatever you want to call them, little rings that they sit in, and once that happens, oftentimes they punch their way through the fabric. So what I ended up doing was pulling, since I had them all out, they all fell out, I drilled holes and put these little rings in there so they can't pull out of the metal, and that seems to be working pretty well. It's a great design. It works well, and it handles very high wind. I'm talking like up to 30 knots it'll handle, or at least we've had it up to 30 knots and it hasn't failed. So anyway, kind of a gray day. It's nice downwind, but up here, I think that's just coming off the land. So what happens on the islands is that as the if you have a rain, then the following day the sun kind of evaporates the moisture up into the atmosphere, and usually you'll get clouds over top of the island. They kind of hang out there. They don't really move too much because they're constantly being replenished with more moisture until it dries out. And then everything clears back up again. So I think that's what we're seeing. The last couple of days have been this way. Good wind if you're out sailing. But we've been kind of hanging out here. We're just kind of prepping to go to St Croix and enjoying Charlotte Amalie in the USVI, because as U.S. citizens, it's easy, very, very easy for us. We just use a CBP row map to clear in and out, or clear in at least, and then we don't have to do anything to go to St Croix. That's also USVI. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful location. We have a seaplane taking off. Seaplanes like to start off low and stay low until they get their airspeed up, and then they take off and they run over to St Croix. It's a back and forth trip, and it's not too expensive. We looked into it for some guests, and it was about $100 each way for two people. So that wasn't too bad, I don't think, for the experience. Well, today's day we have scheduled to go to St Croix from St Thomas, and it's a nice enough day. It's starting out. There's some little rain. We call them squalls, but just like a little bit of rain here and again. Kind of typical for the island. heading out here in a little bit. I've got the engine revving up a little high because I'm taking a little bit of current out of it for the batteries. It's not as good as the generator, but we're not going to start the generator and get that all going right now. We're just too close to leaving. So yeah, that's the plan. It's 36 miles, so it's going to take 8 hours or so, somewhere in that vicinity. So we have to get rolling. It is now 7:35 a.m. Yep. Wendy getting ready to pull the anchor here. We've got, I think, 50 meters of chain out here and a little bit more than what we need, but we're at about 9.5 meters of water. Yep. One of the things about our anchor locker that's kind of a bummer is that the chain has a tendency to pile up under the windlass. It doesn't fall all the way down to the bottom. Part of that's because we have a couple of large containers of diesel fuel, spare diesel, which we probably should work at trying to put into our tank. Since they're getting old, maybe at the end of the season we'll do that. Give me a thumbs up sign, which means the anchor's up off the bottom. And that's good because there's a cat directly in front of us. This is one of the coolest anchorages around as far as holding goes. It's just all sand bottom and it's beautiful. It's not as protected as it appears to the eye. If there's a hurricane or something, this is not really a hurricane hole. Lots of sunken boats after hurricanes happen. But you know, most days it's great. Hold up. Wait. Okay. All right, go ahead. thinking about reefing, it's time to reef. And we just went through some major reefing.
Very quickly.
Yeah. We're seeing 24 knots now, parent. I wouldn't be surprised if in a squall that we wouldn't see 30 to 30, low 30s. It's always interesting to me that the boat will go as fast reefed as it will over canvassed. Here we're seeing 30, 31.
What was that security we just heard?
Oh, small craft advisory.
It's always good to go sailing in the small craft advisory.
They keep a pretty sporty day. After the squalls went through, we just started making sail adjustments. One of the things that happens is that sailors oftentimes after a squall don't really, they're kind of gun shy about putting more sail out. So we did put some more sail out, but we put too much out. And so we had to reef again, and now we're on the first reef, and it is blowing. But we can see St Croix, we're past the halfway point. Thanks, Wendy.
Sitting in my safe leeward spot. My harness. I'm good.
Wendy's the smart one. I'm not harnessed because I was too lazy.
Much for my safe leeward. I'm soaked.
But we are coming up on St Croix. We got about 14 nautical miles to go. Doing 7.5 to 8 knots boat speed. And it's blowing about 25 to 30. Pretty good amount of wind. Small craft advisory from the Coast Guard. Luckily haven't heard any pom-poms yet. Maybe everybody's battened down, hunkered down someplace. Well, it's crazy sailing today, but we're enjoying it. It's very windy, seeing sustained 30-knot winds. There's 30.4 right there, 30.5. So we're on the second reefing point. I'm going to take a moment to say that me not wearing a PFD, personal flotation device, in these conditions is beyond stupid. I have no excuse for it. Wendy and I are both RYA Yacht Master Offshore captains. We know better. We've done hundreds of man overboard drills in our lives, and the chances of me being recovered if I went overboard in these conditions would be, I've been thinking about it for a bit now, and I'm thinking it's probably less than 10%, because I'm wearing a shirt that kind of blends in with the ocean color, and the boat is going at a pretty fast speed, and Wendy just wouldn't be able to turn around quickly enough and come back to me without losing sight of me. And once you lose sight of someone in these types of conditions, they become invisible. So point of this channel is not to make ourselves look good. It's about showing the life of what it's like to be a cruising sailor, and you know, doing offshore passages. And we owe it to ourselves and also to the viewers that we act professionally, and this is not an example of it. Anyway, just wanting to make that point. We're kind of in the lee of the island for waves, and that's good. So the waves are calming down tremendously. Still on the second reef. It's nice to have made it, or at least mostly made it.
Never made it yet.
Never made it yet. It is a day for expert level sailing. I have to say, there's a lot that could go wrong on a passage like this. When you're seeing sustained 30 knots of wind, it's you know, I know that on the internet there's lots of people sailing in crazier wind than that, but it is still nothing to take lightly. Some things to straighten up when we get there. So the first thing to straighten up is to pull the bung on the dinghy and make sure that it's not filled with water. It's amazing how much water weighs. Fill up the dinghy with it, all of a sudden things start to break. Here we are coming into a crazy anchorage. Very, very tight around these reefs. Every type of navigational aid known in this place. It's like Gibraltar. That little equipment failure down there, that lock exploded. I'm finally feel a little calmer. Yeah. Meters. Well, this window seal has come unattached, and so I'm forced to do an emergency repair on the fly. And yeah, so we're gonna I'm using this Gorilla double-sided tape as my bonding agent here. So how do we do on the window?
Well, this window's fine, but you threw the water and came through and got this couch.
It's a little
Oops.
It's a little breezy out. This window is fine. It stays.
It's fine.
There's some drips on the bottom of that strut. But this whole seat was soaked. I'm talking totally soaked. The TV we had to put a trash bag over. I don't know if it works anymore. It was really coming through. The gasket had just come totally unattached and slipped out. So during our passage, it was just blasting water in here, and that's fine as long as we clean it up right away. But it's obviously you don't want leaks in the boat ever. So this is what I ended up using for the gaskets to hold the gasket in place. And essentially what happened was this kind of ribbed gasket along here had hardened very hard, and someone had added another gasket on top, and it had some sort of self-adhesive double back tape or something, and it had just come loose, and the whole thing had shifted out of that window, and that's how we ended up with so much water coming in. But this stuff is tenacious. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. Once it was on, it really stuck. So I'm hoping I've got good expectations here. How you doing there, ladies? I am good. How are you?